Looks like we've got a warship contact, and it is 44 degrees off to starboard. We're gonna go silent real quick then. And while we're silently huddled together awaiting our certain doom, I thought I would mention something. First of all, I'm not an accredited submarine skipper. I don't know what I'm doing, so we've been sailing around this whole time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a Randy Savage impersonator. I don't know anything about submarines. But also, there's a bunch of people who want to get on the boat, who want to have a crewman named for them in this fine game. And it is my regret to tell you that there are a shit ton of you who want that, and there are not a shit ton of actual berths on the ship. Oh my god, just keep sailing. There you go. Everything's fine. So with that in mind, I've started a queue. I've had this queue going since actually probably Silent Hunter 3. Some of the names on the old list might still be from that. There's a oh boy, there's a lot of warships also. So there's a lot of people who are interested. And unfortunately not that many spots. There's actually about 40 people or so in the queue. And that's a lot. That's almost enough for another ship, which might, lead you to ask, well, effing controller, why don't you simply just add another ship to your Let's Playing fantasy world? I don't know. And the answer to that is I could, but then I would hate my life. That is a huge commitment. It's not a huge commitment. Like marriage is a huge commitment. A mortgage is a huge commitment. Professional wrestling is a huge commitment. This is not so much, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have the time to start a second ship. So I guess my point is that I would really love to have everybody aboard. Oh my. I was a little bit too zippy there. Can actually go on the surface now. But I don't think it's really practical. So, I mean, you're free to keep asking to be on the ship. It's just, I don't think that you're gonna at this rate. The whole point was that as people died or as I got bored with them, I would remove them if I got bored with them, which I actually have done if they've been on the ship for a while. But other than that, we haven't had a whole lot of... must be a mosquito or something. It's not moving fast enough. Let's get under. That's probably a destroyer that's using radar. Anyways, my point is that I'm sorry for the wait, but it's gonna be a while if you want to actually be on the ship. So, I do, on the other hand, feel kind of bad about how the Silent Hunter 4 playthrough ended up. And I don't know if there's really much I can do in regards to that. I might start vanilla again and continue on from there, but that's not going to happen alongside this probably just because it is a time commitment that I'm not really willing to undertake right now. So I guess that's that clumsy explanation done. We're going to stay under for a little bit. I'm not sure where that warship went. I'm pretty confident it was a warship, though, because it wasn't moving very quickly. But in any case, we're going to hide and continue on towards our grid. This area is pretty thick with warship contacts, it seems. This one here is a radar signal, but it's moving slowly enough that I'm pretty confident that that's what it is. It's actually a warship. So it is also heading towards us, so it's time to get underwater. And we'll just see if it comes up on hydrophone. The obnoxious part of this is that it makes it very difficult to recharge. There he is. Is there pinging? We did have our radar active there for a eensy weensy teensy bit. So he could end up getting a fix on us. He's in our blind spot. Oh, dear me. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Are they just, where are they going? Oh dear lord, why? They're crossing our path. South? Yeah, I think we're gonna avoid this maybe, but I think that they're onto us. That radar issue might have really fouled us up. By the way, I'm not even going to look at what these are. I know that this is a destroyer task force. This is an anti-submarine task force. At the very best, the largest ship in there would be a light cruiser. And that would even be unusual. Usually what they will be is just 4 destroyers, or maybe 3 destroyers and a frigate, or a corvette, whatever. None of them are anything that I want anything to do with. But these guys appear to be passing us by. So we're going to return to course. Just weave through them. And it looks like we're going to escape with our lives today. Yeah, it looks like they're going to just leave us alone. Cool. Alright. That was a little dicey, but we're moving on. This guy's going to get really close. I'm actually going to have a stop. Or put out 1 knot if we can, actually. That's fine. He's going to go right in front of us. He is, looks like about 3 kilometers from us. He is not pinging. He's going to sail right on by. That is how that is done. Just creepy crawly. Is he zigzagging though? No, he's not. Alright. Crisis averted. Alright, we've reached our grid with no further incident. And we're gonna patrol around here. What the hell happened here? What's this? What are you doing there? Uh-oh. No, up here. That looks beautiful. Okie dokie. Moving right along. Yes, we are in our grid. We're going to stay here for 48 hours, I think. I can't remember. And we'll hopefully run into some shipping. We've got a couple of warships about to go right over the top of us. I don't have any indication that they've detected us, but they are mighty close. So it's worth watching them. That one is extremely close. Looks like he's about 1 kilometer away. I might as well just look on the surface. Oh, good. It is a destroyer. Fantabulous. We're going to continue to try to stay very, very quiet, which seems to be paying off. The second one is here. It's gonna pass us even more closely. And I think we're good. But that was awfully close. And they're doing a search pattern over there. Interesting. Don't like it. I might just continue to the south here. But we do need to actually put a little bit of distance between them and us. Looks like they are gone. Let's go on the surface real quick. No radar signals. I think we're in the clear. So we're going to actually return to course and try to actually hunt. My god, we haven't had any kind of merchant contacts. It's getting a little bit depressing, but not even any radio reports even. It's a tough ocean out there, but you know, oh great. It's another destroyer, I bet. Well, we'll just go under and repeat the same thing. Fun times. We are mere seconds away from reaching the last marker on our patrol here in this grid. And as we are doing so, or shortly before I started recording this, I had a realization. The neurons were starting to fire off, and I remembered something. Believe it or not, my brain does do things. And that is that, well, let's talk about the facts first. We've had a conspicuous lack of shipping. We ran into something up here, but other than that, we have had no enemy shipping whatsoever, and in fact, a lot of escorts, many of which I didn't bother recording in here, because there were just so many of them, and I was able to so deftly outmaneuver them. And so I didn't record them just because it was the same thing over and over again. Dive quickly and stay under for a while. But there's a reason for that. We're getting into the metagaming aspect of this, and of this fine game, and the aspect of which I wish to speak to you about today is the Enigma machine. The Enigma machine was a little typewriter-looking thing. Let's actually see if we can look at one. Whoa! Don't rock the boat. Let's go to this station here. Is that it there? That's it there. This little typewriter-looking thing. It's a series of rotors and lamps and other bullshit that served as the way of allowing the Germans to communicate with each other at sea, and on land for that matter, through the use of, ciphers and cryptography. I can't even say the word. I'm clearly not qualified to talk about this topic, but basically to allow the Germans to pass secret orders. Supposedly. So, the Enigma was actually deciphered I believe, fully deciphered in 1943. There was a period of time in the 1940 where the Enigma was deciphered. Then the Germans very cleverly added another rotor to it to make it harder to decrypt. And then it went through a period of time in 1942 when it was indecipherable. But then the Allies got back on it. They were able to decipher it. And then consistently, starting in 1943, I think, a little shaky on the dates, but the point is that as of right now, the Enigma transmissions are pretty much just being read by the Allies. It's really not working as intended. The Germans very arrogantly, actually, the Allies discovered at the end of the war that the German cryptographers were like, we had no idea that you were reading our messages. Why would you do that? They were actually kind of flabbergasted at the prospect that the Allies put forth so much effort to deciphering the Enigma. And were shocked and appalled that everything, just about everything, and not in an immediate timeline, but basically everything was being read. And that includes things like U-120 or 1204, go to this grid and patrol there for 24 hours. The Allies knew probably that we were coming here. And as such, might have diverted a lot of the traffic out of this grid, and in its stead, sent a bunch of obnoxious patrol ships into this grid and the environs. So that might explain partly why there was a bunch of bullshit here rather than shipping. With that in mind, I think we should get out of here and go to greener pastures. This is actually a really good area to hunt in terms of there being a lot of shipping, but there's also a lot of patrols. So I'm gonna go full force here. I'm gonna go into the lion's den and try to sink some ships here. We're going to be dealing with a lot of shipping, but also a lot of escorts. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay too long, but I'm hoping that the virtues of our boat will carry us through. The effort to actually decode or decipher the Enigma, they're pretty spectacular. There's some really amazing stories to be told. I'm not the guy to tell them, but the effort was pretty monumental. What's going on here? Speaking of which, that's actually a warship, but I'm going to get under. But I don't know, go read about it in your local library. Read about Bletchley Park and Alan Turing and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty amazing the lengths to which the Allies went to, and the lucky breaks, honestly, in some cases, that they got to be able to decipher a lot of this stuff. And how decisive it was in helping them win the war against the Germans, especially at sea. So in any case, we are dealing with the results of that effort right now. It's possible that this ship has been dispatched to this area along with the veritable dozens, not quite dozens. Oh, there's a lot of ships here, though, that are not friendly. But they're there probably because they knew that we were going to be here. And that's a testament to the fine folks in Bletchley Park who, and also the U.S. Navy actually had some cryptography. They were called bombs, actually. These arrays of typewriters that helped. It's basically what they are. It's not literally what they are, but for all intents and purposes, that helps you to understand kind of what we're dealing with here. They had these systems that were designed to decode these messages, and then after they figured out the way that the keys were sequenced for the day, they were able to decipher everything for that day. And the U.S. Navy was, along with the British, able to do that. In any case, I'm rambling about something that, again, I'm not really the best person to be talking about it, but I'm talking about it. To fill in time, because there's really nothing to do here other than dodge warships. My God. Alright, we're going to get out of here and try to hunt so that I don't blather on about items of historic import that, again, I'm just not very good at talking about. Well, it would seem that our decision to leave this stupid, poopy grid to the south is already paying dividends. At least I think they're dividends. I don't know what a dividend is. Actually, I guess I should ask my accountant. Wait, I don't have an accountant. Well, okay. Enough yammering. This is a radio contact. I don't believe that this is a radar contact based on what I'm seeing here. Heading east at medium speed, which is like 6 to 12. I'm not sure that's right. Let me look at this. 7 to 12. So close and yet so far. 7 to 12. I like to normally write in a length of this line to help me remember the speed, but it's actually really close. So, actually, is our radar even on? Apparently not. This would have some squiggly lines on it if it were. Let's turn that sucker on. There we go. And let's go back to the map and plot an intercept course. Of course. We'll be heading that way. And hopefully we'll pick them up on radar. Let's actually see how close that contact is. It's probably within hydrophone range. But we're on the surface, of course. Let's keep scooting here for a little bit. Very mysterious. I would hope that we would be able to see it, or, yeah, see it on radar. I'm going to try to see it with my own eyes, because I don't trust my crew's eyes, amongst their many other body parts. We can hear the wind whistling. I don't see shit. I just see ocean. An ocean of shit. What's the weather like? Aha. So the visibility is a little bit iffy. I'm going to put us at periscope depth. And slow us down because, let's look at the map. Yeah. If they are heading due east, we might overshoot them if we continue at a head 1/3. And we are under, but we're not hearing anything. It can't. You know what? I think it takes a minute for it to kick in. And there you go. Alright, so it's a merchant at least. That's encouraging. Sometimes those will come through just as a square, but it can be a warship, and that's not desirable. We do not want that. Alright. So let's actually just keep listening to him. Yeah, looks like he's hit. Oh my. T for 2, it would seem. Okay, it says merchant medium speed closing. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, let's slow it down. Actually, let's go 1 knot if we can. And we'll let these guys get a little bit closer so that I can commence the identification process. But we're going to get extremely close here. Oh my, okay. Let's start backing off a little bit. Now, watch the rudder, though. Yeah, it was about to start turning me that way. Turning my ass that way. We do not have rear tubes, though. As you can see, these are all front tubes. And these are fat torpedoes! We're loaded up with a bunch of fat-ass torpedoes. So, as you can see, if we use these and they overshoot, they'll go like this. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to just keep on trying. Way to go, Torpedo. Way to stick to it. Let's go to the periscope. And let's also come up a little bit. Because that helps. And there we are. Got 2 merchants, it looks like. And that, I can already tell you, he says, hesitating, because he actually can't already tell you. I think that's a small merchant, actually. Pretty sure. Let's open up the book. Handelsschiffe. None of these so far. We gotta get to the smaller ships. We commence the maddening clicking that is associated with identifying ships in this fine game. Yes. Yes, indeed. And you, sir? No. Oh, it's a tramp steamer. My memory is coming back to me. Indeed. Indeed, it is a tramp steamer. So. Slow that down. We don't need to be going 3 knots backwards. In fact, I would really prefer it if we went none knots, but I trying to keep it a little bit realistic because many people have pointed out to me, you know, you can't really go no knots in a submarine underwater. It just doesn't really work that well. You also can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Oh my gosh, they are pretty much right in front of us, so we got to make this snappy. Ooh, that's a good reading, actually. And that is about 90 degrees. A little bit less. Let's actually bring up the card for this guy. And we'll speed them out the old-fashioned way, because we don't have the time to 315 them due to my, dawdling. Alright, come on now. I'm expecting something like 7 knots. Holy shit. Okay, so we're gonna actually shoot at this one first, because he's behind him. Take it. And that's like that. And then unlock it. Open the tube. Look quickly at the fat settings. My ranging is a little bit off. Oh, you know what, though? This is designed for convoy, so we're going to decrease the straight run here and do it like that. Haha. Okay, go back to the scope, and we fucked it up. Alright. Once more with feeling. There we go. And this one, range him again really quickly. It's about right. He is almost, give it like that. Let's look quickly at the fat. I don't know if we necessarily even need to do it this way, but we're gonna. Back to this. Open the tube. And I did not set the depth on these. I do not have the time. I think that they're set to about 4 meters, which should be fine. Okay, so now, wait, no, normally I dive. But that's not necessary. We actually can... Actually, yeah, let's do this. Let's go exactly parallel to them. So if we miss with these torpedoes, we can actually shoot them running alongside them. That should be kind of comical. Might be promising a bit much, I guess, but let's see. Let's go to the attack map. It looks okay. It looks okay so far. There's our torpedo. There's our hydrophone for the first one, and then the hydrophone for the second one we shot at. There's a torpedo there. And we are going to run east, run alongside them, and try to broadside them, I guess. Now, we don't have a deck gun, of course, so we can't surface and shoot at them if we happen to miss or if we get kind of a glancing blow on them. But that looks really good now. So the reason I tweaked down the fat straight run, it's a weird thing to say, is that the fat thing with the squiggly ladder thing, the fuck am I talking about, is designed so that if you miss something in a convoy, it could possibly hit other targets. We're just focusing on a single row of ships, so I brought it down a little bit. There you go. Well, we hit it in the butt, which isn't preferable, but let's see. Do we have a torpedo heading in for this one? Oh. I don't see anything yet, but let's look at the attack map. And, ooh. Well, also in the butt. We got a secondary on it, though. Hey, alright. So I think my range readings might have been a little bit off. But we landed hits with both torpedoes. That's not bad. And those are small ships, so hopefully they won't take another torpedo. I would feel kind of awful if I had to use any more torpedoes on these ships. But hopefully that will be enough for the two of them. T for two, indeed. T for torpedo! Ah! Well, they're sitting there looking pretty unhappy. This one in particular, it looks like he's actually stopping. Unfortunately, they are British, but of course, we would expect that at this point in the war. Yeah, that one looks awful. This one, also awful. You guys should not be manning the gun right now. Just a hunch. Maybe they're statues. Very clever ploy. But yeah, they appear to be dead in the water as well. So, we're just going to keep an eye on them for a little bit. And once they sink, I will let you know. Numero 1 is sinking. It is going down. Its boilers are exploding. Its rivets are popping. Its men are drowning. Yay. Oh. Oh no. Hate to see that happen. No. I love it. This one is on its way. As you can see, its decks are awash. And it might do something amazing and sink while I'm talking about the other one. Hence, giving this whole thing an extraordinary sense of timing. As though I planned it this way. Come on. Making me look like an amazing professional at sinking ships. Fuck you. Well, it's about to sink. The boxes are going all over the place. Come on. God damn it. Don't make me look like an ass, boat. The other one actually should already be under. Yep. It's gone. This one is on its way, though. And there you go. Numero 2 is sinking. So let's go ahead and go on the surface. Get our ship a little bit reach. Whoa, there you go. Bye-bye. We're going to recharge our batteries a little bit because it's daylight out. I don't want to be wandering around too much on the surface right now. See, right in a nice little row. Let's return to course. Recharge. Clean up the map a little bit. And continue on to the Celtic Sea, and then on into St. Georg's Canal. Sounds like a plan to me.